People ask me all the time, which side gig is the best? Well, that depends on you, but I only do 5 side gigs: Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Amazon Flex. So today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each of these side gigs. Let's kick it off with Uber. So in my opinion, Uber has the best potential for making money. And that's if you can take advantage of the opportunities, the challenges, and you can chase the surge pricing. If you can do all 3 of those things and you can do them on a regular basis, it's easy to make $1,000 in 3 days, and that's after you pay for your gas. I did that myself by completing challenges like complete 60 rides in 3 days. Sometimes that can be a lot of hard work, but definitely the best money in Uber. The cons with Uber is it is strangers getting into your car. And of course, when they get into your car, they don't know who you are either. So there can be kind of a safety issue there, and I'm sure you've heard about issues with both Uber passengers and Uber drivers. So I think it is something that you should be concerned about. There's also a 12-hour driving limit. So you can only drive consistently for 12 hours without taking at least an 8-hour break. And that goes also to the con bullet, which is also a pro bullet. It's hard to get to that $1,000 in 3 days if you can only drive 12 hours a day, especially if you take on a challenge that is a certain number of rides in a certain period of time. And what Uber has usually is over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, complete X number of rides for your bonus. So just remember, the 12-hour driving limit is a drawback if you're trying to make a challenge. But in summary, best money is with Uber. But when it comes to safety, it's not one of my top side gigs. I'd rather do one of the others. For example, Uber Eats. I actually prefer Uber Eats over Uber. It's in the same app, so I can toggle on and off when I want to pick up people, and I can always leave the food toggled on. There's also no delivery zones to worry about, so I can, wherever I'm driving at, I can just toggle on if I want to deliver with Uber Eats. The customers have the option to tip before and after the delivery, which is good because some customers want to tip after because they had better service. And you can also go online anytime with the Uber Eats app. You don't have to schedule. The cons are the Uber Eats seem to have lower pays and lower tips. And I put no zones again because sometimes it's a con not to have a delivery zone because you can get pulled all over the metro area and go to restaurants you're not familiar with. And there's also more stacked orders. That's where you have to go to 2 restaurants or maybe even 3 restaurants and then make 3 deliveries. Grubhub. Now the pay seems better with Grubhub. I think there's better tips, there's bonuses when you don't get a tip, and they also have something called guarantee pay, where if you don't get any orders in an hour that you've scheduled, you'll get paid. On the right you can see the 5 orders that I had, and you can see the places where I didn't get tipped, there's bonus money included. I think it's like a supplement to make up for that. And then you can see here I got $10 of guarantee pay for 2 blocks where I worked an hour but I didn't get paid. Now you do have to be scheduled in order to get that guarantee pay, because like Uber with Grubhub, you can also go on anytime even if you're not scheduled. But if you just go online, there's no guarantee pay. Last pro is that the zone is really large, so you don't have to worry about hopping from zone to zone all the time like you would in another app. But the zone being large can also be a drawback. And I'll show you in just a minute. I'll compare the Grubhub map to the DoorDash app. You are also locked into your zone. When you hire in with Grubhub, whatever zone you hire into, that's your zone. You cannot go outside your zone. And I've noticed lately that there's lower volume with Grubhub. They just don't seem to be as busy as DoorDash or Uber Eats. And some zones, like mine for example, isn't even open 24 hours a day. So I can only get out and deliver during certain hours when the zone is open. So that can be a real drawback as well. What you're looking at now is the Grubhub delivery map on the left and the DoorDash delivery map on the right. My zone is that outlined area on the left in Grubhub. And you can see how big it is compared to the area on the right for DoorDash. DoorDash has several different zones all within the area of my one Grubhub zone. And remember, I can't deliver outside of my Grubhub zone, whereas I can go into any of those red zones on the DoorDash side. So for me, having a big zone that I'm locked into, like with Grubhub on the left, is a definite disadvantage. Next is DoorDash. DoorDash is one of my favorites. The pros are that you can dash anywhere you want, not just in the state that you live in those zones, but I've traveled to other states and I've been able to do DoorDash in different states. The peak pay is easy to understand because it starts and stops at certain times and it's a specific amount. There's no ambiguity like there is in Uber where a surge can disappear. The volume seems to be real busy. It's always real busy with DoorDash, and there's a large different variety of work. You can have alcohol deliveries, shop and deliver, food deliveries, all sorts of different kinds of things. Now the cons are that you can't dash unless it's busy. The exception being if you are a top dasher like me, you can dash when it's not busy. But otherwise, scheduling is easy. The pay does seem a bit lower. The tips are lower because all the tips are done up front. And you seem like you drive the most miles and make some kind of unusual trips. And by unusual trips, I mean sometimes it seems like you go out of your way to make a pickup when a closer store might be right around the corner. Amazon Flex is different from all the other side gigs. This is delivering packages from an Amazon warehouse to multiple people's homes. The pay is good. It can be anywhere from $18 to $40 an hour. Prime now actually has tips if you make those deliveries. Like I said, making one pickup and making many drop-offs. The hours are flexible because Amazon is busy at 3 in the morning and at 9 o'clock at night. And if you go to Amazon and they don't have a route that you've been scheduled for, you still get paid for your time, full price that you were originally promised. So the pay is very good and consistent with Amazon Flex. The cons are that there is more effort involved in this side gig. Some of the packages could weigh more, and there's a significant number of packages that you might pick up to drop off. You also don't know where you're going to be delivering until you pick up your route. The Amazon Flex app can be a bit glitchy when it comes to dropping off, and sometimes you run into issues like gated communities and apartment complexes that can slow you down. So let's wrap this all up. Of the side gigs that I do, I would do Amazon on the weekends, 2 blocks Saturday and 2 blocks on Sunday. I do DoorDash on the weekends as well and make about $100 a day. And then I do Grubhub from 6 to 7 a.m. daily scheduled. This gets me about $2,600 a month. Now when I retire, I'll probably do weekday Amazon blocks, one in the early morning. And then I'll still DoorDash on the weekends because the weekends you can make pretty good money. And then Grubhub, still 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And that would get me about $1,000 a week or $52,000 a year. Uber and Uber Eats will always be there for me, but I'll use them as just a backup for when I can't make all the other money that I've outlined here. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I look forward to giving you more data about all the side gigs.